With us in studio is Kylie Eisman-Lifschitz, domestic violence expert and the chair of Mavoi Satum, which means in English, dead end. Kylie, thank you so much for being with us. 20 women killed by their partners at a home setting amid the pandemic.
I think it's very much connected. I mean, you cannot just look at the numbers without seeing this huge spike in numbers during the height of the corona and the lockdown. It just between 400 to 1,300 in 1 month alone. And unfortunately, the situation is exacerbated by the fact that under the laws of the state of Israel, the person with the keys to this woman's freedom is the abusive husband themselves. Because in Israel, under the law, a woman is not free to divorce without the permission of her husband.
Right. Explain the unique thing about kind of the circumstances in Israel.
Okay. So as you know, in Israel, there's no division between religion and state. So anyone who wants to get a divorce in Israel has to go through the rabbinical courts. Under the Jewish law, the rabbinical law, a man is entitled to demand whatever he wants in order to set his wife free, and he has no obligation even to agree to that. So essentially, she can leave the marriage, she can go to a lawyer or whatever, but when she gets to the court, even if she's gone through the whole family law settlement, she's not able to actually get her divorce and go free and marry someone else and have children with someone else until her husband permits her. The
weekend murder of Diana Ross, I mean, she was well known in Israel, famous. I mean, as a relationship mentor, an advisor to women who were in domestic abuse situations. She posted frequently online. Let's listen to just a little clip of something she said about being trapped in a relationship.
An average woman. What makes her in a relationship during times of difficulty? Fight or stop communicating with her partner? To shut herself up when her partner allows himself to speak to her in a teasing and humiliating way? I'm sure there are a lot of women here who have experienced this at least once in their lives, or know someone else who has experienced it. It's awfully easy to see someone else experiencing such a case and tell her just to get up and leave. But before she leaves, let's stop and try to understand what causes a woman to stay there and to keep quiet time after time, to not stop and think what's going on, to not understand that she's in a problem cycle, and to continue to stay in the relationship for years and years.
Kylie, many women may wonder if an expert like Diana Ross, who knew all of the symptoms and the signs of abuse, if she couldn't escape in time, what hope is there for me?
I think that's a very good question, and I think more and more women are just seeing no way out. I mean, we see now during Corona that even though there's been this huge spike in domestic violence, there's really reduction actually in divorce rates. What does this mean? It's hard to get a divorce in Israel. It's hard to escape an abusive husband, and the state only makes it more difficult. There are solutions though, and I think that women need to go into marriages protecting themselves. Even before they get to the chuppah, they should be signing a prenuptial agreement that protects them against abuse and allows them an easy out if things go bad. I think it's just something that, we all take for granted. It's going to be lovely and wonderful and no one wants to talk about it then, but people need to be educated from a young age, like she said, to identify the signs and to know how to get themselves out of problematic situations. Very, very big issue that is not getting enough attention. And we're going into elections now. People should be asking their representatives, what are you doing to protect women? What are you doing to protect women against abuse that is sanctioned and supported by the government, by the state?
Who should women turn to if they know they're in a dangerous cycle of abuse, they want help in getting out? Who do they turn to first?
So first of all, they should call one of the domestic violence hotlines. There are several. There are also, they can contact the police, but definitely go to a women's support hotline because they know how to get through the system. It's very difficult. It's hard to get a restraining order. Restraining orders need to be renewed as well, and they expire. All of these things require a great deal of resources, and women who are abused often don't have those resources. And now during Corona, they're more isolated than ever because they can't turn to their parents and leave the kids there,
Do you hope that the Diana Ross situation, which reached to the highest levels of the prime minister in the halls of power, do you believe, though, it would actually lead to real change?
Absolutely. I mean, I already see it happening. There's a lot of, philanthropic initiatives starting and people waking up to this and saying this is a much larger problem. I also hope that they're going to pay attention to the fact that millions of dollars basically is spent by the government enforcing keeping women in these marriages. They should be freeing up the process for women to get out of abusive relationships, making it easier for women, making it easier for women to access the services they need and to get justice and to go on with their lives. And this is something that, we have to demand, from our leadership.
Kylie Eisman-Lifschitz, thank you so much for being with us in studio to discuss this issue. Really appreciate your time. Thank you.
That's a pleasure. Can I say one thing?
Very quickly.
Just wanted to clarify, Mavoi Satum is an organization that helps agunot and mesorovat Gett, women going through a divorce and experiencing Gett abuse. There are many organizations that deal with domestic violence, and I really recommend that people turn to them, whether they're in a marriage or not. So
thank you, Kylie,
thank you
so
for
much.
your time. Pleasure.